What's the weirdest or most surprising thing you've learned about education? Let's take this in context. I was a teacher in the United States. I was teaching for 6 years in the United States. Kind of came to the conclusion that maybe schools aren't all what we think they are. Maybe they're not all what they're cracked up to be. And this is not because of the people that work in schools per se. It's not about teachers not doing their jobs. It's not about head teachers not running their schools well. But maybe it's about broader societal forces, about power, about economy, about different philosophies and ideologies of what education is or should be, and how they get kind of propped up in different ways in society. And that's partly what we study here on this degree. And so in many ways, I kind of feel like schools can harm people as much as they help people. It can be two things at the same time. And one of my favorite theorists is Paulo Freire. He's an educational philosopher from Brazil who wrote a fantastic book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And in that book, he argues that schools can be institutions of oppression rather than institutions that liberate and emancipate people. And so on this degree, what we get to do is we get to examine claims like that. Or questions like that. What if schools are actually organizations or institutions that oppress people rather than liberate them? And if we want people to live freely and to be fully included in society, how do we create educational systems that help them do that? And that's, I think, one of the most exciting things about studying education. And that was one of the biggest eye-opening experiences I've had as someone who has studied education, who has worked as an educator, and now works with people in becoming new educators, is that, things can be two things at once, helpful and possibly harmful.